Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Deep Root Solutions. Today, let's discuss the problem of takfir. Today, we have many scholars and da'is, callers, calling each other out online as apostates, as deviants, claiming that they're outside of the fold of Islam, that they are no longer Muslim, that they're not real Muslims, calling them, secret Shia, calling them Masons, calling them all kinds of dirty names, and calling them people of innovation. It's quite troubling on so many levels. And sometimes they're calling them these names directly, sometimes indirectly. Sometimes it leads to people's homes being invaded. And then apologies not being forthcoming. And rectification and reconciliation and atonement not being made. Sometimes it leads to people being hurt and people being killed. People being murdered in cold blood. Sometimes it leads to people being exiled from their homes, their families, their communities, losing their connections. So this is what we want to kind of discuss this briefly, to consider what are the ramifications of people making these claims on people and calling them out publicly. There are a number of big names online within these realms that have come under attack. I mean, like there's always daily drama and turmoil within the Ummah, which looks really bad for the Ummah. Especially these people are supposedly experts in Islam and calling people to Islam, and they actually push people further away. They give ammunition to those who have issue with the Muslims, who believe that Islam is an antichrist system, or is a criminal organization, or is a deviant, wrong path. These people who are engaged in takfir and ripping each other in character assassination, they may profess to be protecting the Ummah. They think they're the protectors. They think they're the guardians. They think that they're enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. But what they're doing is they're ripping the rug from everybody. They are putting the entire community into doubt. They are putting people into unstable positions, into states of uncertainty, into states of self-doubt and doubt of the scholars, doubt of the Ummah, doubt about Islam. And so many people are leaving Islam, and many people will be leaving in coming days increasingly, because we are in the time of revealing, where Allah is showing us people for who they really are and showing us what they've been engaged in for real. Things are coming to light by design. We are not allowed to, we need to come out of genuine hypocrisy. We need to come out of genuine unhealthy thoughts, words, and actions and behaviors. So these are opportunities for us to change and be better humans. And to be transformed and then to live a life of sadaqah is dawah, genuine deep dawah. So some of the things, when somebody is accused of any of these things, of being a murtad, of being, a kafir, of being an apostate, a blasphemer, a traitor, not only does it put their lives in danger, because you could have unstable Muslims who have been engaged in various sins, like they're watching a lot of porn, they're visiting prostitutes, they're doing drugs and alcohol, and they've been cheating on their spouse, and maybe they got called out for it, and etc. And so they don't want to go. They're already tasting hell now. They don't want to have further hell. So they think that this might be a get into heaven free card. And so then they go and they do dirty work, potentially. And you got to, anytime, if you call somebody a name like that, and that there are people who believe that that's death penalty or torture or physical hurt, then people are going to behave accordingly, especially when there are chaotic times. So it's very, very dangerous, especially with the period we're going into. So you are endangering that individual and their loved ones. You are also endangering you are stripping them of their livelihood, potentially. You are stripping them of their resources and their community ties. You might be like, oh, good, that's fine. Okay, all right, so let's see what cause and effect feels like. Let's see about what comes around goes around as people are exposed, because I mean, more and more, this is part of the design. There is a digital Mahama taking place where the Muslims are destroying themselves from within. There's a civil war taking place digitally, online. And then with the Christians are doing the same thing within their communities. The Christians are going at the Muslims. The atheists are going at everybody. You know, like all these various groups are engaged in conflict online, and there are real world expressions. Mahama is much bigger than you've imagined or been led to believe. It's the Great Slaughter. It's a genocidal extinction level event. It's an ecocide, a destruction of all life on Earth. No bird can fly the length of the battlefield before they fall dead to the ground. This is the Mahama. The whole world is the battlefield. Part of it takes place digitally. It's always spiritual conflict above all else. That's why the greater struggle is so essential and so critical. So not only are you attacking a person's reputation, undermining 40, 50 years of scholarship and contribution to the Ummah and perhaps beyond. So we've got this issue. Then it also impacts their direct students and their direct students' livelihoods, incomes, because now they have an association with the teacher that might impact them, the work that they can get, their ability to feed their families, their location within a community. It might jeopardize their life and their well-being at some point. It might cause doubt and concern and uncertainty about Islam, about the deen, about scholarship in general. As they come into doubt about their own teacher, it might cause various fitnas within their body. It might cause health problems to the scholar or the da'i or the Muslim, their families. Then you got their students, then their indirect students, anybody who's been listening to them. And then they're like, oh wow, so I can't take any knowledge from this person. What do I do about all the knowledge that I've already taken? Oh, then I've got to go and reassess everything and change everything. And so it's very destabilizing. So everybody's going through a and the thing is, this is worldwide now. And it's not like it's just one scholar here or there. We're talking a lot of different scholars. You dig under the surface, you find out that all over Muslim platforms, scholars are being called out for their aqidah, for their belief, for their teachings. It's like, oh, this person, look how deviant they are. They're misguiding all these people. So now we've got the direct students and then the indirect students, the people who have taken benefit over the years, especially two different categories, reverts, or three different categories. Reverts, potential reverts, and born Muslims who were off path and seeking to learn about the deen. And so they go and they're taking benefit from these various scholars over many years sometimes. Maybe that's why somebody became a Muslim or began practicing after never practicing, or having fallen away, and then a certain teacher inspires them and they take benefit from them, and then later this person's called out. And then if say what if you're a revert or a born Muslim and you have been influenced by 5 different scholars, say Western scholars who speak English, and you've taken tremendous benefit, and then the rug gets pulled out from each one of those, then you got to question everything about yourself. Was I wrong about this? Now you're seeing all this dirty behavior within the Ummah. Wow, people are really cruel amongst the Muslimin. People are hypocritical. People are mean-spirited. People are mockers. I mean, this is really dog-like behavior. It's dog-eat-dog. It's wolf-like behavior. It's wolf in sheep's clothing behavior. I call it dog tribe. People are, because we see the dog tribe now. They're devouring the sheep. They're devouring the Muslimin, ripping the flesh off of living creatures. They're assassinating characters. And so what's happening is they're assassinating the Ummah. They are devouring the energy of the Ummah. It's very vampiristic. It's very cannibalistic. It's very destructive. Because it destroys the scholar, their reputation, potentially their health. It's attacking their life work. It's attacking their direct disciples, their direct students. It's attacking everybody who's taken benefit from lectures, from learning circles, from videos, audio lectures, from books, from articles, etc. Everybody who's taken benefit, now they're questioning that. And then if it's multiple scholars, then it's going to turn into a tsunami of sorts, or like a snowball effect. And this is going to be pushing people to be doubting. because they're not seeing transformed individuals. They're not seeing examples of prophetic individuals, people who behave like the prophets. They don't see examples of Muhammad's and Isa's. They don't see Musa's, alayhum salam. They're not meeting them in person. And every different group, you got all these different people engaged in fitna, full on attacking one another and saying horrible things about one another, not rectifying the situation, saying that they won't pray behind individuals, that they won't return salams to people because they're not correct, they're wrong. And beware who you take religious knowledge from, brother. Beware of who you take knowledge of the deen from. And so who do you take knowledge from? When you see enough attacks, when it's happened, when it's pervasive enough, what happens is that there's nowhere left to stand. It's like standing in a pit of snakes. Like literally, where's the earth there's nothing under my feet now. It's all writhing serpents. And they're biting my legs and they're coiling around. And I'm fighting for my breath, and I'm fighting to live and survive, and there's nothing to grab hold of because you've ripped it all away. You stole the rope. You stole the ladder. You stole the stones. Everything was stolen away because you wanted to make takfir. Everything was stolen away because you wanted to call somebody a deviant, a hypocrite. But you're behaving like a hypocrite. You're behaving like a deviant. Where is your appreciation for the learning tradition? Where is your appreciation for the thought process? Where is your appreciation for research? Where's your appreciation for humanity? Astaghfirullah. What do we call somebody who lacks appreciation? What's the Arabic word for that? Is it kafir? Is it related to kufar? Oh, but that's a different category, brother. You don't know the Islamic sciences. It's different. Really? Is it? Really? Maybe you're stuck in a wrong corner of the stacks. Maybe you've been reading the wrong books. If your deen tells you to be a mocker, to be darkly sarcastic, to annihilate and devastate people, to own people, he's owned, he's destroyed, he annihilated that brother, that he exposed him. You're exposing people? Exposing means to make people naked. So you're making people naked in public. Really. You want to expose their sins. You're spying on them. You're exposing them. You're destroying them. But you're protecting the ummah, right? You're protecting the deen. That's your position. That's the job that you've taken upon yourself. That's cool. Is it? Because you just attacked all these different people. I mean, it's like, that's what I'm saying. If it was just one thing, if it was an isolated incident, it would be one thing. But this is not isolated. This is so pervasive now. And then, the problem is the internet. No, the problem is that people are not engaged in the greater struggle. People are not going through Toba and Tazkiyah. Straight up, if you have directly or indirectly called somebody kafir and you have videos up, they could potentially then people see that later. It's problematic. I mean, this is so dirty. What other community attacks itself so intensively, so often as the ummah? It's really disheartening. It's very heartbreaking. It's very troubling. We need to be seeking wholeness. We need to come out of a broken state. We need to quit breaking our bonds and destroying them. And what are you doing? Are you doing it for some internet views? Are you serious? You want some YouTube views? You want to get some consultation money? You want to establish your authority over others? You want to have people overly dependent upon you? You want to be a big dog? Is that what you want? You want to be the big dog in the pack? Well, we're not dog tribe. Maybe you are. We're people of the prophets, peace be upon all of them. I don't think that this is how Nabi Dawood alayhi salam, Prophet David, acted, ever. Nabi Sulaiman, Prophet Solomon, peace be upon him. Isa, Muhammad, Adam, Noah, Nuh, Ibrahim, alayhum salam, peace be upon all of them. These were shepherds. They weren't wolves. There is a dirty way to interpret shepherding. You know, there are shepherds who protect the sheep, that might shear wool from them. Some don't take the meat. Some have their creatures live throughout their lives, and they've just taken the wool from them and their milk from them. And then others take their flesh, and so it's a competitive situation where they are just protecting their sheep from competitors, you know, like bear, lions, wolves, wild dogs, you know, and then others, you know, we have the whole wolf in sheep's clothing conceptualization, you know, for humanity, where it's like, you know, people who are supposed to be shepherding the flocks of humans. And it's weird to think about ourselves as sheep, because that seems very cattle-like. That seems goyim-like. That seems like we're, you know, so it's kind of a problematic metaphor to some extent. But not if we, you know, that first model that I mentioned about protecting and like milk is energy, you know, fleece, you know, taking the wool. I don't know that that's ethically problematic in and of itself, but this is something we need to really, you know, we need to really consider what we're doing, how we're treating one another. We need to better protect the Ummah from this fitna. This is Dajjalic fitna, because it's based on lies and delusion. It's one-eyed, meaning that it lacks depth perception. It's blind in one eye, lacking clarity, lacking vision, lacking an expansive vision. It is hunchbacked. It is not upright. It is pigeon-toed. It does not walk the straight path. It is malformed, deformed. It is not completely perfected humanity. It's not beautifully human. We need to really check ourselves and be very careful, because we are in very dangerous, dark days. And what's interesting too is these people of fitna who are doing dog tribe behavior. The real issues that are really happening, I don't see them talking about at all. At all. And some of them have been directly negatively affected health-wise by this very event. And yet they're not talking about anything. And they're engaging in fitna. And they're boosting their reputations and their authority, but they're not really protecting the Ummah. So they're destroying the Ummah at the same time that they're taking advantage of and milking the Ummah, fleecing the Ummah, slaughtering the Ummah, eating the flesh of living creatures, and giving nothing back. This is a form of riba, enslaving people mentally. Oh, this is troubling. So anyway, let's just consider that this has an impact on potential reverts as well. And it also gives ammunition to the enemies of the Ummah, people who would do us harm. And those who would be our allies and join us are pushed away because of disgusting, ugly behavior. And it's troubling to humans who seek to be pure and ethical and just, because there are humans all around the world that behave like this. And we need more Muslims to behave like this. We don't have enough Muslims behaving ethically right now. And in uplifting humans in general and inspiring humans in general. We need Muslims to become upright and transformed and be of benefit. So may we come out of this ugly behavior. This is so hurtful, so disgusting and repulsive. Till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.